Hello and welcome to this video, which is about the quadratics organizer. The purpose of this quadratic organizer is to combine together 6.1 and 6.3 and review both of those things before we put them together in 6.4 and add in graphing them. This organizer should get folded hamburger style. So this page should be the front. And then this x squared plus 8x plus 15, that should be on the back. So it gets folded hamburger style, just like how our review packets get folded. It's just one page, not two pages, so it's not stapled. And then these two problems should be the inside. So you don't need to write that down. I'm just showing you on the PDF version I have here. And how this is going to work is we, in this video, real quick, are going to go over and do this whole front page together. And then you guys will do the two problems inside and the one problem on the back. That's your assignment. So, what we're doing here is we are reviewing 6.1 and 6.3. In 6.1 and 6.3, we learned how to find the axis of symmetry. We learned how to find a vertex. And then in 6.3, we learned how to factor and find our zeros. So we are going to do all of those things, but for the same problem now. And then in 6.4, we will be ready to do all of those things, do one extra little super easy step, and then put it all on a graph. So this first problem we have here is x squared minus 12x plus 27. You guys will notice that all of the problems we're dealing with right now don't have a number in front of x squared, so they all have an imaginary 1 there. So all the problems you guys will see today will have that, and all the problems you'll see in 6.4. Once we get to 6.8 and 6.9, we will have a number in front of x squared there. Right now we're doing the factoring style where we don't have a number, we just have an imaginary 1 in front of x squared. So all of these problems are in standard form. So that's our A, B, and C values. So my A value is 1. My B value is negative 12. My C value is 27. For all of these problems, how we find our axis of symmetry is using this formula, negative B over 2A. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my B and A values here. So x equals negative B over 2A. My B value is negative 12. So that's going to be negative 12 on the top, which is going to end up being positive 12. And on the bottom, 2a is 2 times 1. So I've got 12 divided by 2, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that is my x value is 6. Once I find that x value, I am going to plug it in and find my y value. That'll give me the ordered pair that is my vertex. So the x value of my vertex is 6. To find the y value, I need to plug in that 6 to my original equation. So let me scroll up and write down my original equation real quick. I've got f of x equals 1x squared minus 12x plus 27. So we are now going to plug in 6 to that equation. So we'll be finding f of 6. So that'll be 1 times 6 squared minus 12 times 6 plus 27. 6 squared is 36, and then 1 times 36 is also 36. Negative 12 times 6 is negative 72 plus 27. So 36 minus 72 is negative 36. Negative 36 plus 27 is negative 9. And we could use that, or we could use our calculators to solve that out, like we did when we did 6.1. Okay, so that is a review of what we did in 6.1, was finding our axis of symmetry and our vertex. Now we are going to use the exact same problem, and we are going to find our zeros by factoring. So I'm going to write down the problem again, see if I can remember it. It was f of x equals 1x squared minus 12x plus 27. Let's double check that. Yes. Okay. we are trying to factor this. So we need to find two numbers that multiply together to be 27. So we need to multiply to 27. And we need to add together to be negative 12. Leave space to write that. So numbers that multiply together to be 27 are 1 and 27. 2 doesn't work. 3 and 9. And I think that's it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 don't work. Okay, how we multiply to be positive, add to be negative, is both negatives, double negatives. So our factored form, the numbers that add together to be negative 12, are going to be negative 3 and negative 9. So our factored form here is x minus 3 times x minus 9. And then how we find our zeros is we take each of those factors, set them equal to 0. So x minus 3 equals 0, x minus 9 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. We can either think about solving that out, adding 3 to both sides. So if I added 3 to both sides, 0 plus 3 would be 3. One of my zeros would be 3. Or we can think about what number minus 3 equals 0. And the number that minus 3 equals 0 is going to be itself. 3 minus 3 equals 0. Or it's going to be the same number but opposite sign. For the other one, what number minus 9 equals 0? 9 minus 9 equals 0. Or we can think about adding 9 to both sides. So it's going to be the same numbers but opposite signs. You guys will start seeing that pattern. Okay, so your job now is to work on the 2 problems inside and the 1 problem on the back. You are finding axis symmetry, vertex, and the zeros for all 3 of those problems. I promise the more we understand this today, the more practice we get in getting this done before we do 6.4 is going to help you a lot when we get to 6.4. That's why we tucked in this extra little assignment here. That is all. Catch you all on the